Cate Collins is president of Powerful Journey Consulting. She admits to having her underwear too tight. She's a recovered, burned-out leader and has devoted her life's work to support others to avoid the same fate. Cate is a seasoned leadership expert who has helped thousands of leaders and their teams across the globe master their unique mental hazards so they'll be more resilient, focused, successful, and happier. Her extensive background as a family counselor, facilitating Powerhouse team retreats, and being handpicked to train with Jack Canfield allow her to get to the heart of the matter with her clients in record time with lasting results. Her resilience strategies to help organizations be more engaged, prevent burnout, and increase productivity have profound effects on our clients' bottom line. Her new book, The Powerhouse in You, How to Lead with Greater Resilience, Courage, and Confidence, has just been released. Let's join Cate as she takes us on our very own powerful journey. There you are, Cate.
Appreciate it. So here we go. You ready?
Oh,
we're
yeah.
We're going to have a,
okay.
Yes.
All right.
Three.
A little juggling.
I'm already gone. Thank you, Anders. You are a pro at that. I want to thank Anders for being here, and thank you for showing up as well. I'm so excited. This is the Grand Slam, and I wanted to show off a little bit of my skill set, which obviously is not really that good, because this is a gentleman who happens to be a magician. That's his background. But what I wanted to do is just send the point is this. I don't know about you, but juggling all those balls in our life, right? There's so many things that we've got going on. And so it's so easy for us to lose sight of the power that's within us. So we've got a great lineup for tonight. I'm so excited. Before I get too deep into things, I want to share with you just a little bit of what's happened this week. If you haven't had an opportunity to join us this week, Monday we did the kickoff. Tuesday we had a female powerhouse panel that just blew my socks off. So please, if you haven't had a chance to view the video, I really encourage you to do that. These women opened their hearts and they were so vulnerable and just shared the truth of who they are and how they've been able to navigate when power's been taken from them and how they've been able to move on. So I really want you to see that. That was really fantastic. And that was on Tuesday. And then yesterday, I was interviewed by Mark, and it was a wonderful exchange. It gave me a great chance actually to think about a lot of the things of why I wrote the book. And it just feels like eons ago now, and all the wonderful people that supported me along this journey. And then, of course, tonight, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about the four-room framework that really is, in essence, that four-room framework is really the framework for the book. And I want to share some tidbits with you because I don't know about you, but my life was full before COVID. And then all of a sudden, the hustle is on. The more I talk with colleagues, my clients, my family, there's this reality of having to constantly change how we do things. Can you relate? So what I'm inviting you to do in a moment prior to me getting into some things is I want to share some things. Thank you for putting that up on the screen, actually. That's wonderful. You could do that again, Anders. That's fantastic. So as you know, I'm very committed to supporting so that every single female worker within the Durham area, within the women's shelters, that each of them get my book. I'm so committed to this because what we know that right now, alcohol abuse has gone to an all-time spike, and so has that of domestic violence. And so right now, our shelters are full, the workers are taxed, and I want to make sure that every single one of them, with your support, get one of these books. And I am over the moon thrilled to share with you that 150 books will be donated. And you can see along the screen here, we've had, oh my gosh, Lisa Wilson, thank you so much. One of the partners from the firm, the accounting firm. We've got them from, oh my goodness, we're talking Baker Tilly and Curtis. They've donated 35 books. JJ McGuire, Jeff Robinson, who's got a heart of gold. They donated 30 books. We've got CRCS. Thank you, Ryan Douglas and family. They donated 20 books. Jeff Hayes, a big shout out to you. You've always been a huge champion for the women and children in our community, and he's donated 15. Oh my gosh, the list goes on. Jen Spear, who happens to be one of the people that's been really kind enough to volunteer or not. I'm not sure whether it's more of a guinea pig thing, but tonight for the hot seat. So she was very generous and donated 5 books. Sarah, oh my gosh, Sarah McVannell, who is in fact the facilitator of our writing group, she donated 10 books, which is so generous of her. And she's, greatness magnified. So I just want to say, thank you, thank you, thank you. People keep sending me emails. So if you're curious, you're out there and you want to get the book, first of all, I want to say to you, today is the last day. Midnight, it changes. The price goes up to $23.95. Currently, the printed copy is $19.99, and I'm signing it for you. So I would love for you to be a part of this. So this is a great gift for whoever's in your life. And, I think it's nice to acknowledge them. And who doesn't need resiliency right now? So again, it's www.powerfuljourney.com. If you were wanting to take a look at the book, we've also got, you can go to the, when you go to my site, there's also the ebook. You can access that as well at all the different retailers, from Amazon, Kindle, to Indigo for the ebook. So without any further ado, I want to say I'm so excited that you are here. So first room. So how did I come up with the room? And I know Mark said that yesterday, which was really, I think, a really good question, is that, Cate, how did you come up with the 4 rooms? Well, several years ago, a very dear Indigenous friend of mine said to me, Cate, in our tribe, we believe that in order for you to have balance, in order for you to have that sense of confidence, that calmness within you, in order for you to own your, step into your purpose and own your power, we believe that you need to enter each of these 4 rooms every single day. So I've since done a little bit of sculpting of that. My background, of course, as was mentioned earlier, is a mental health family counselor, as well as a certified Pilates instructor. And so what I wanted to do is put the twist on it. So it's actually your mentally fit room, your emotionally fit room, your physically fit room, and your spiritually fit room. So what I'm wanting you to think about tonight is which room is wanting you to enter it. Maybe you haven't been in, maybe there's cobwebs. Maybe, in fact, you thought the lights weren't working. Maybe you thought the door was locked. So I'm a huge fan that our body, mind, and spirit tells us all the time. It gives us cues. What we just need to do is pay attention. So my intention for this evening is number 1, is to let you know that whatever you're going through, that you're not alone. And so I've had people say to me, but Cate, it says on your book, how to lead with greater resilience, courage, and confidence, but I'm not a leader. And I need to tell you that we're all leaders, regardless of where you are, whether you have a title or you don't have a title, whether you have the letters behind your name or you don't have the letters behind your name. The reality is we're all leaders, whether you're a parent, whether you're a child, like an adult child I'm referring to now, a community member, a volunteer, we're all leaders. So I want you to keep that mind open of yours, and let's have some fun and play. So we're going to just imagine for a moment, we're going to enter in to room number 1, and that would be your mentally fit room. So I'm sure you can relate to this a little bit, right? A lot of people, particularly my clients, when I, travel the globe, they talk about this monkey mind going on. A lot of the leaders that I talk to in their teams, they say, Cate, I have such a hard time when I'm on vacation or at nighttime to quiet the mind. How do I deal with that? And it's quite simple. What you simply need to do is start to build in some meditation. And you're going, oh, okay, Cate, that sounds great. That's for you, but that's not for me. Well, what I'm here to tell you is you're already meditating. You're meditating on your problems and your worries. What we want to do is train the brain differently. You see, the brain is real. Your mind is there to support you. We just need to help train it to be able to do it differently. So there is something that I call the Power 4. And in that Power 4, it's a morning routine, and it's something that I'm pretty passionate about. And number 1 is it starts off by doing some form of meditation. So I'm curious at this time, I want to say to you that if there's anybody that's out there, I'd like you just to write some things down. Thank you so much, Sharon. Oh, look at this, Kensha. Thank you so much, Christy, all these wonderful people here. So I'm curious, how many of you, for example, meditate? Put that in the chat for me, will you? Even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's you just do breath work, even if it's you do a walking meditation, share that in the chat. I would love to see that. Because you see, we know that statistics tell us the power of being able to meditate and take some time and just be quiet. Just be quiet, right? Yes, you got it. Yes, absolutely. It's a key resiliency. I love that. You betcha. Yes. So I think that what we need to do is we need to just get quiet. So part of that Power 4 that I was referring to is when you start your day, okay, get up and pee first. Okay, we have to do that first. So what I want you to do is I want you to take that time and just do some breath work. Or for me, for example, we have a chair in the bedroom, and that's literally just my meditation. And I get so many cool ideas, even if it's 5 minutes of a meditation or 20 minutes, and just be with your breath. Now, I want to say this because it's important for me that you remember this. I want you to go to my website, powerfuljourney.com. Right now, I'm giving everybody a complimentary meditation MP3. It's called Playful Meditation for the Busy Mind. So you, or if you know anybody else that's struggling with that busy mind, I want you definitely to go to my website resource page and simply just click it in, and we'll make sure that you get that, because I know right now there's so much going on. So please let me gift you that, okay? Number 2 of the power of 4. And that is, what I want you to do is I want you to shift your body. I want you to move your body, right? So whether that's you decide you're going to do some stretching, whatever that is that you decide that you're going to do, but it's important that you move your body. So whether you're a yogi and you want to do some yoga or Pilates, I know some of my Pilates members have been chiming in this week, so I'm so grateful you've been part of this. Whether you go for a walk, whatever that might be, but moving your body. Right? Number 3, which is a really important one, and get ready for this. What I want you to do is, we don't do this enough, right? I want you to be writing somewhere, or I at least want you to be able to say it to yourself. I'm really proud of myself that I accomplished this. So I invite you right now to put into the chat one thing that you're proud of that you've accomplished in the last 24 hours. So let's see it. Come on now, everybody. Don't be shy. Come on, Christy. I want to see something from you. Come on, Carrie, Joe. Come on. Love it. Positive affirmations. You got it. Beautiful. Yes. Come on, Meg. What do we got here, everybody? Beautiful. Excellent. This is great. This is great. Loving this. Fantastic. So you're proud of yourself for your positive affirmations. I love this. Fantastic. Gratefulness practice. Love it, Meg. Beautiful. Beautiful. Spoke on the stage last night. Yes, you did, Sharon. Wonderful. This is great. What are some other things that people have done in the last? Figured out my one idea from my book. Good job, Christy. She's from our writing family. Right on, Christy. I love it. We've got time for one more person. Updating my website. Fantastic, Suzanne. Look at these. Reflection. Beautiful, Jess. Right on. So think about that. How did that feel, being able to reflect on that win, on that success? Doesn't it feel great? You see, what happens is no different than going to the gym. When we take the time to step off that stress treadmill and really take a look at what we've done, what it does is it feeds our self-confidence. And that's what we need for those days when we're not feeling so confident, where we're not feeling that superpower. Then what we need to do is we need to refer to that file. We need to refer to that, cue card. We need to refer to that. I mean, I have my own validation file. And I open that up and notes from clients and people that have shared with me something that's, I've made a difference in their life. So that's what I invite you for number 3. Number 4 is this, my intention. How is it I want to show up today? How is it I want to show up? You see, you get to do a day do-over anytime you want. So if it's right now and you think, you know what? I didn't do such a great job with my children. I didn't do such a great job with my husband or my partner or whomever. I kind of was a little short with them. You get to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go back and I'm going to take responsibility for that. And I'm going to do a do-over, right? That's the beauty of intentions. So if you forget it in the morning, you can still reflect at any point during your day and go, wait a minute, right? I said that I knew I was going to have a full day today. So my intention is to be present. Or my intention is to show my best self, or my intention is to be able to just love myself unconditionally, even during this challenging time. So that's the power of 4. So that's basically in your room number 1. So I'm just giving you a little bit of a glimpse into the book so you have a little flavor of what's going on. Room number 2. Room number 2 is we're stepping into it, and it's your emotionally fit room. So how's your room doing? How are you feeling? Why don't you write that into the chat? How are you feeling right now? Some people like to close their eyes just to check in with their hearts. Just put into the chat, what are you feeling? What's going on for you? Just put that out there. Anybody feeling sad? Anybody feeling upset, worried? You see, here's the deal. We're a society that really sucks at this. You see, we're all walking around wounded, right? What we're going through right now is COVID fatigue, and grief is part of this journey. Grief is part of the journey, right? And so what needs to happen is for us to allow our feelings to come forward, because you see, feelings aren't facts. What we do need to do is allow them to breathe through. Feeling tired. I hear you, Patricia. You got it. Yeah. So what I invite you to do when you check in, your roller coaster. Yeah, really. That's very real, Christy. So when we take the time to check in with ourselves, then what we're able to do is then we're able to get that feeling of, okay, so that's what I'm feeling. Now, what do I need? Right? Have you ever had a situation where you kind of go, oh, finally you just relax, you get your jammies on and you're about to Netflix or read a book or whatever. And you go, oh my gosh, I feel like I could cry, or I just feel like I could just smash something, or I feel whatever. You see, we've got to slow down. And that's been the beauty of COVID. It's given us a reset, right? To really say, okay, how am I feeling right now? And I think it's really important. We, as children, when you think about little children, they're so good at this, aren't they, Jess? They just say how they feel, and Christy, I know there's different people here that have got younger children that they just say it. They say, yeah, I'm mad. You stole my toy. And then all of a sudden, a few minutes later, they're just carrying on like they're happy now. But what do we do as adults? As we get older, we start to suppress that. And we suppress it a little bit more. And we suppress it with, things like food, things like being a workaholic, right? You see, grief particularly gets hidden in workaholism a lot. I've worked with a lot of leaders where they're saying, Cate, but 5 years later, I'm like, what's happening? I'm saying, because you lost yourself into your work. You've never actually grieved the loss of your father, or you've never really grieved that divorce, or you've never grieved the fact that you were fired, right? So it's important. It's really important that we take that time. So loving these. So maybe, Andrews, you can keep me on top of some of the comments they're saying. That'd be great. So that's room number one, is the mentally fit room, right? Room number two is the emotionally fit room. Yes, count on kids for honesty. You bet, Jess. Number three is we're going to now enter into our physically fit room. Now, we already know this. We got to move our body. Yes, I love it. Slow down and listen what's happening within us instead of moving through life in a fog. Love that. Beautiful. So what's happening is this. You see, our body never lies. Our body never lies. Yes, I love those grandchildren too, Sharon. Our body never lies. It's there to cue us. I got to tell you, I write about this in the book. What's up with the term heart attack? Because the truth is, the heart doesn't attack us. It's what we do to the heart that it becomes attacked, right? I remember my father had a mild heart attack and the doctor saying to him, Jim, which I kind of giggled because my father's name is Jim Collins, not the actual author, but I could have milked that now that I think about it. But anyway, he said, Jim, if you stay away from these 3 white deaths, I'm trying to stay away from that book, the 3 white deaths, I'm telling you, this will be a game changer for you. What do you think the 3 white deaths are? Put them in there. Put them in the chat. I'm curious to know. What do you think? So if we were to avoid 3 white deaths, what would they be, folks? Something that you would eat, consume. What would it be? Who's sitting back and drinking their wine? Let's just see. So I'll help you out. Salt is one of them. So avoid salt. What's the other 2 white deaths, folks? Let's see it in that chat. Come on. Sugar. Yay, Rose. You got it, Rose. That's my sister-in-law. She's a powerhouse. Yes, you got it, Mike. Sugar. That's my brother. Yes. So salt, sugar. What's the 3rd one? Any guess? Any takers? Drum roll. White flour. Yes. We've all got them. Yay, Kendra, you're right. So those are the 3 white deaths. So think about that, right? Yeah, pasta, which is white flour. Exactly, right? So when you think about your body's always cueing you. When we get bloated, right? When our stomachs hurt, when our lower back hurts, when our neck hurts, our body's simply telling us, slow down, right? So now remember, moving your body can be as fun as doing the hula hoop. Now, I'm in a space that truthfully, it would be pathetic right now because I would knock everything over. But whatever makes you feel good. You see, we've got all this stress that's in our body, all of the stuff that's around us, whether we think we're insulated or not. Whether you think that, oh, well, I don't listen to the news, I'm not impacted. These masks have disconnected us in ways that are beyond even what we're even aware of. So I'm curious, please put into the chat, what do you do physically to release your stress? And Meg, I hope you're going to put down your puppy there. What, you use cocaine? Oh, Christy's saying cocaine would be the white one. Yeah, I guess that would be a good one. You're right. Thank you, Jess. So what would it be? What would be the things that the outlet that you do? Jess, I know yours. You walk like I do in nature, right? That's a huge one. Mother Nature's there to heal us. What are some of the things you do to release your stress? Now, Patricia, are you saying things that make you laugh? Oh, that made me laugh because I was going to say laughing, by the way, is internal jogging. So that's a great one for your body as well. That's super. Cycling, love it. Hot yoga, wonderful. Look at the ball. Tennis and pickleball, beautiful.
Juggling, Cate.
Yes,
Juggling is an actual like meditative state, and it's supposed to like bring the right and left brains together because you're using both sides.
Let's try that again. Try that again. Let me see.
The other thing about juggling, just to say as a stress relief, that it takes so much focus, you don't really have time or the capacity to worry about anything else.
Oh, I love it.
And for me, I'll walk a slack line and juggle. So then I'm balancing on one foot on a rope, juggling. You really can't think about anything else. So it really does clear the mind.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I don't actually feel that calmness, but I'm glad you do, and I have to take your course. Thank you for
I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you very much. That was brilliant. He's, by the way, a magician. He does all kinds of things. He's just magnificent. Nature for you too, Patricia. Yes, absolutely. Walking. Look at all of these. Reading. Nobody put sex in there. Okay, just there's no children around, I'm hoping, right? This is fantastic. This is great. Well, thank you. I'm loving this. I'm just so loving this. So what my intention is for you to listen to your body's cues, everyone, because your body will always let you know. Okay, no different than the light that goes off in your car to say, hey, you better put some oil in there. What happens when we don't put the oil in the car? Eventually the engine falls down or breaks down. So same thing with our body. That headache is there just to cue you. Slow down, get away from your computer, get away from your technology. You know, we're getting all these rays around us all of the time. Don't get me started on the 5G anyway, but all of the stuff that's in there. But yes. Oh, there's Cody, my son. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. I have to pay my family later. So anyway, so that's beautiful. So the room number one, of course, was your mentally fit room. So if you were my live audience, you'd be shouting it back to me saying, Cate, room number one is your mentally fit room. Yes, that permission to sleep. Love that, Jess. Love that. Number two is your emotionally fit room. Number three is your physically fit room. And now we've entered in to your spiritually fit room. So this is a really important one. It is so critical right now at a time when there is such division with so many people, particularly in other countries. And I won't say where they are, but I think it's really important more than ever that we come together. And what we know is that loneliness is rampant. It's actually surpassing a lot of heart disease and other things. So we need to make sure we connect with each other. So I'm just going to ask you right now, who in your life would welcome a phone call or a text or a note saying, I'm just thinking of you? Can you put it in the chat, please? Who right now do you know that, you know, maybe you haven't connected with them? There's no total acceptance here. But what I'd love for you to do is put in the chat, who is it you're going to connect with within the next 2 hours and tell them that they matter. Let's see it. Let's see it because it's more accountable when you write it in the chat. Come on. My mom. Beautiful, Sharon. Love it. Love it. Suzanne, my mom. Look at this. Let's see it, folks. Who else? Oh, your nephew. Beautiful. Catch it. Lovely. Lovely. Who else? So who in the next 2 hours are you going to reach out to and make that connection? Carrie Jo, my mother-in-law. Beautiful. Yes. Yeah, she's in another country. That's pretty impressive. Good for you, Carrie Jo. Lovely. Oh, okay. So Suzanne's changing it up. Okay, gotcha. My friend in Vancouver. Yeah, they're 3 hours behind. Perfect, Meg. So how does that feel? Even just the fact that you're going to reach out. See, that's what the spiritually fit room is. What's going to fill my spirit up? And what we know that fills our spirit up is when we connect with other people. You know, sometimes when we feel lonely, we think, gosh, I wish somebody would reach out to me. Sometimes it's a matter of being that change that we want to see in the world. I know the other thing that I want to say is really, really important, and that is about servants. Being a servant leader is really critical for me. And I know for a lot of you that are watching, it's really, really important. So it's who can I be of service to? And that certainly is what I'm sharing right here. And I think the other part, which is really important, is having a joy list. Having a joy list somewhere on your technology, having it somewhere where you can physically look at it. So when you're having that day, that not so great day, what happens is you can pull that list up and go, right, I haven't belly laughed today. Right, I haven't got into an escape book. Or yes, I need to get lost in a good movie. Or, oh, Mother Nature's been calling me. I need to go out there, right? Love it. Yes, yes, fantastic. So lots of great stuff here. So what I want to say to everybody, you've been so wonderful. Thank you so much. It just means so much to me that you've been here, you've shown up. This is just delightful. And I love the shares that you're making. You're all such great people. I guess I just want to wrap this up and just kind of wrap it around, and that is this. No matter what you're going through, it is so vitally important that you know that the powerhouse has always been within you. Oftentimes we lose our way, right? Where we feel overwhelmed. We feel like we've got the weight of the world. Sometimes it's finances. Sometimes it's the fact that we have someone with a mental health issue, maybe ourselves, maybe someone else in our life. Maybe there's been a death. Maybe there's some element of grieving. You know, we've got parents that have got their kids in school, some they're at home, all of this changing that's going on. You know, I just want to say to you that the best gift you can ever give yourself is to take that pause. Take that pause and just check in with yourself and say, what is it that I need right now? In my book, I talk about my chiropractor is a dear friend of mine, Dr. Mike Koulas from Awakened Health. And what he talks about is, and this is worth writing down, and I want you to write the answer to this. What would I choose in this moment if I loved myself? What would I choose in this moment if I loved myself? So let me see your answers. I want to see them. Lay it on me. Oh, thank you, Meg. So I'll start off. So what would I choose if I loved myself in this moment? Not right now, but after this, I'm going to go and have a hot soak, and I'm really going to give myself permission to get lost in an escape book and go to bed early. That would be a true act of self-love for me. So what is it you're going to do that's going to, again, what would I choose in this moment if I loved myself? Why don't you put that in the chat? Would love to see it. Thank you, Suzanne. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kenshin. So be asking yourself that question moving forward. Now, before I just want to get started, and I want to jump in quick. This is time now for the hot seat coaching. So there's a couple of guinea pigs. A couple of people that were so generous and saying that they were willing to basically volunteer for me for my hot seat coaching, just to give you an experience of some of the resilient strategies. I've shared some of them, giving you a little bit of buffet, because it's always about food for me, of some of the strategies that I use in the book, and then also in my training, in my retreats, and my keynotes. And so what I'd love for you to do is keep the comments coming, keep the questions. However, when I'm doing the hot seat, you can continue to do the comments. However, Anders won't read them out to me or come on the screen until after the exchanges there, unless he feels there's something that would be really relevant during the hot seat. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Lisa Schmidt. She is want to welcome. I know I can see everybody now just clapping for you, young lady. Thank you so much. So one of the things, Lisa, that when I did the panel a couple of days ago with the Powerhouse Women, the Dr. Karima Velji, the VP of Clinical Services from Ontario Shores Mental Health Sciences, unfortunately, her technology was such that she wasn't able to stay on for very long. And so I really wanted to kind of dig a little bit more into the emotionally fit room, particularly given what we're going through. So I'm so grateful that you're willing to share with us today. So I'm wondering, how can I best support you with this particular room? So if we were to walk into your emotionally fit room, what is it for you that you feel that, hey, you know, this is something that I'm coming up against right now, and maybe Cate could help me with?
Yeah, and Cate, such a generous offer. And before I start, congratulations on this incredible milestone. If there ever was a time that this world needed you and your brilliance and your words and your book, you couldn't have found a better moment to step into this. So thank you for bringing that to the world, but also thank you for inviting me to talk with you. You know, you said something a moment ago that I wrote down, that life was full before COVID. And I was reflecting today that, you know, sometimes we compare ourselves to other people and we think, well, how that person's doing all these amazing. I find myself comparing myself to my pre-COVID me. And it came up for me today when I was, you know, really thinking about, you know, why am I struggling right now? Why am I feeling, even though I'm busy, I'm connecting with people, I'm being productive in my work. You know, you talked about having a spiritual, like this morning I woke up and I thought, who are the 5 people I haven't been in touch with? Like, I'm doing those things, but I am still struggling with the sense of, you know, it doesn't quite feel like it's like doing all the right things and not getting the results. And I think the thing I'm struggling with is trying to cut myself some slack. Right. I'm really good at being a Jane of all trades, and now's not the time for that. So I think I would say to you, I'm really, it's how do I loosen the story that I have about myself, that I all need to do it all and I need to do it all now. And there's no room to take, as you just described a few moments ago, to take that pause to feel what I'm feeling.
Right. Well, thank you first and foremost for being open. We got a bit of an echo here. I'm not sure what's happening there. So what I want to say is this. It takes a lot of courage, first of all, to be so open. And for those people who are watching and listening, we didn't do any practice in the sense of, we don't have a cookie cutter going on here. It's just Lisa being so honest here. And I thank you for that. I'm wondering, because for me, I believe that all of the rooms are interconnected. The mentally fit room, would you agree? Emotionally fit room, the physically fit room, and spiritually fit room. So one of the things that I talk about in the mentally fit room, Lisa, is my mentor, Jack Canfield, the Chicken Soup for the Soul series and the Success Principles author. He talks about that we have 3 main limiting beliefs, but there's one primary that each of us have. And it's, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, or I'm not smart enough. Which one would you say you're feeling with what you've just described to me? I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, or I'm not smart enough. Oh, I lost your volume there. Oops. No, don't you, it might not be you. It could be Anders. I'm not sure.
How's that?
Oh, that's better. Good. There you go.
Yes, my apologies. I inadvertently touched my mic. Sorry for that, Cate. You know, I was just thinking, you know, I can never pick one, you know, like I'm the person when I order ice cream, it has to be 2 different flavors on the scoop. So I'm probably going to pick two of those. I would say it kind of does this swerving between a feeling of unworthiness and, did you say good enough or smart enough? Sorry, I'm already, yeah, like maybe it's all 3 of them. Maybe I'm a Neapolitana ice cream of bouncing through, you know, some of the ways that you've just described that.
So what I'm wondering about is where I'm going to just kind of get you to pick one. Which one would you pick?
I'd probably say, I would say unworthiness.
Okay. So I'm wondering then, we still have an echo. I'm not sure what's happening there. So I'm curious then.
You know what? I think just for the echo's sake, it might be, Lisa, something with your mic and the speaker. I'm guessing.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not too sure. You want to man your mute, if you know what I mean saying, Lisa, when Cate's talking, and that might eliminate it, but I'm not exactly.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Okay. Appreciate that. So we lost you there. It's okay. It's technology. It's how it works, right? We just go with the flow. No. Okay, keep going. Okay, so where I'm going with this, you can hear me though, right, Lisa? So yes, okay, good. So where I'm going with this is that I hear what you're saying, and a lot of people will say that, clients will say that to me, Cate, but I'm all three, or I'm two of them. What my reasoning for landing on one is because then we can kind of dig a little deeper, right? And so are you able to come through now? No, can't hear you still. So something's wrong with the mic. Okay. So what I'm going to suggest.
I was just going to say that Lisa is muted right now. I can see that. So Lisa, if you unmute yourself, there you go.
I can see. How is that?
There you go.
Sorry,
Okay.
there's so many things on the screen, and I'm mostly distracted by my own face. So let me just look at where I needed to unmute myself. Thank you, Cate.
Okay,
and I'm sorry to create a little glitch there, but on we go.
No worries. We just go with the flow. So would it be the worthiness? You said unworthiness, right? So
Yes.
let me ask you this, is that back to my question is, what would I choose if I loved myself in this moment? I'm going to actually tweak that a little bit and say, what if you woke up this morning and you felt 100% worthy? So you've got this lens on that you're taking into your life. And whether it be about connection with people, whether it be success, whether it be financial, whatever it may be, tell me what's going on for you. How are you thinking different? How are you feeling different? How are you acting different?
Yeah, it's a really, really great question, because there's so many answers I could give to that. And I know it's a good question because of so many answers that are popping up for me. I think I would say that I would mute the conversation inside my head.
Okay.
The one that is, there's the exuberant me that has an idea, and then there's that tamping down voice, right? I imagine on the Flintstones, Fred had a little angel and a little devil on either shoulder. And I think sometimes I give them equal play. And I think, I can't remember which one I said was the devil, but I can't tell right from left. But one of them needs to be kind of tamped down a bit, to be recognized. Like, I hear you, I know you're trying to take care of me and trying to, bring in my expectations. But I think there's a part of that I just need to actually keep putting, the drink me that Alice in Wonderland had and made small. I think I need to give that to my little devil Fred.
So this is brilliant. I love that you're saying this, Lisa. So what if you were to say, because this is just my belief system, that I believe that inner critic within all of us, or that voice, or whatever people want to call it, the gremlin, or like you say, the different sides, I believe that it really is there to serve us. So I'm wondering if we were to ask that party that feels unworthy, if we were to ask that side, what is it you're here to teach me? What it would say.
Yeah, it is a self-protective voice. It is, I'm a pretty big risk taker in many parts of my life. And I think that voice in me is like, yeah, remember all the times you took a risk and it didn't work? Maybe now's not the time to take yet another risk. I think that's the voice. And, you're reminding me, Cate, I was out for a run the other day, and I was on a path I'd never been on before. And I was coming around a curve, and there was a big stop sign for the cars and a little stop sign for the snowmobiles and the dirt bikers. And what I thought was really interesting about that was, I thought sometimes I need to make the big stop. Sometimes I need to full stop, shut it down. And sometimes it needs to be just the hit pause. Is this voice actually true? Maybe there's something here I can use. So it's so interesting, because I really try to not stop when I'm on a run, but it struck me when I saw the big and the little stop sign. So yeah, there's something definitely in there.
Beautiful vision. So we're having an echo here. So I'm just going to be mindful of that. So what I want to say is this. I wonder, is it worth just something to consider about literally scheduling in some time just to feel? I know it sounds a bit odd what I'm asking, but whether you say tonight or tomorrow, I'm literally going to put myself in, where I'm going to say, this is a time where I'm going to write about how I'm feeling. This is where I'm just going to allow myself to feel. And if it means letting these sides kind of have that conversation, if it means letting out if there's fear or worry or sadness or hurt or anger, I'm wondering, would that be valuable, do you think, just to give yourself permission to feel that?
well, to use your 4-room framework, it's like, yeah, just go in the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because I think for a lot of us, we sometimes do we put all kinds of, boxes in front of the door. We do all sorts of stuff going, yeah, I'm going to get there. Yeah, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. And I use the example in my book that it's like putting applesauce into a fridge uncovered. And then you go back to it 3 weeks later and you go, oh my gosh, like what's that about? I got to clean that up. I got to take that. I got to put it somewhere. And then you kind of put it in the back, furthest back, so you'll get to it, but now you can't see it. And then all of a sudden you wonder, what is the stench? It's disgusting. And I think in many ways our feelings are much like that they're still underneath there. But now what's happened is it may show up in a heavy feeling, or it may show up we have an overreaction to something, when really it's something underneath there. We just need to say, I need to be more gentle with myself. I mean, I've been through a lot. I've had to navigate all of this, and so maybe take a look at the successes that I've had and to say, wow, and then most importantly, what do I need now? Where can I get love and support and kindness? Because I know that you give so much to others. But it's usually the ones that are always the givers that sometimes forget to ask. And the challenge with that is that then we rob others. We really rob them of showing up for us. Was that helpful in any way, or?
Absolutely. And I wrote down a few things earlier when you were talking, but also right now. And I'm really grateful because you've just in having this conversation, you've given me that pause to look at what it is, and not even look, I would say to just kind of sense it and feel it. Mm-hmm. And that's a real gift. And I'm deeply grateful that you helped me walk into that room. And sometimes you walk into a room and it's really dark. Mm-hmm. But most rooms do have a light switch. So,
right.
And
sometimes you go in with someone else, right, Lisa? Sometimes I don't know about you, but I need to go in with someone else and know that I'm safe. And I think that's the other thing I want to close on with this. And thank you so much for your openness and willingness to share, is that a good friend of mine who's a former Buddhist monk, he said to me, Cate, at the core of all of us is that we need to remind ourselves that we're safe. So when I start to feel afraid, when I feel overwhelmed, I repeat that a lot. Sometimes I say it out loud, not necessarily in the metro lineup, but I say, I am safe. I am safe. And then I breathe it in at such a deep level. And sometimes there's tears that come. And sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, like I'm okay. Mm-hmm. Everything's going to be okay. Right? So I want to thank you so much again.
Please. Thank you.
Delightful. I appreciate you. Namaste. Thank you for being here. And then what I would love, Anders, if we could maybe get Jen to jump in. So thank you again, Lisa. I'm so grateful. Jen's in the house, Jen Spear. All right. So now we're going to enter into your physically fit room, young lady. How can I best support you? This is the room that you felt that you'd like some support. How can I best support you? Bring it on.
Well, since I can no longer fit through the door of the physically fit room, I thought that might be a good place to start. But it's hard to follow Lisa. I mean, I still want to be Lisa when I grow up. I absolutely love her. And I just want to echo what she said, Cate. It has been such a joy to follow you on this journey as you were working on this book, and you inspired me and brought me into the writing group. And so watching you through this, and then this week, you have been such a powerhouse. Your launch every day. It's just been so wonderful to watch.
So much. That's really kind. I appreciate that. So first of all, coming out of the gate, I'm going to come after you with the language you were using on yourself. And that was, I can't fit through the door. So when we look at it from the perspective, I'm jumping in with you because I know you a lot longer than I do, Lisa. So there's no holding back here. So we know that the body, mind, and spirit is all interconnected. So I'm wondering, out of curiosity, would you make that statement to a friend? You can't fit through the door. What's up with that? Your husband, Kai, you can't fit through the door. Would you say that to a client?
No, but I would probably be more honest with myself, I would say, in that regard. And it is definitely a way that I'm feeling. And it was funny, it was something else that you said. You were talking about the 3 white deaths. Mm-hmm. And I watched on on the Facebook feed as my profile picture came up. It's a cookie. I mean, I live this, right? There might be a problem here. There's definitely a theme.
There's a link, is there?
Right. Yeah. And so it's, and I, it's not that I don't know what to do in this room, right? Right. You're supposed to eat, sleep, exercise. I just have not been doing any of them particularly well.
Right. So what I want to say to you is that where I'm coming from this with Jen is that it's really critical that we're mindful of the language we use externally and internally with ourselves. And I think it's fair in saying, and please, some of the ladies that are here, I think we've got primarily ladies in the audience, I'd like you to give me some feedback here. Is it not fair in saying that we can be brutally hard on ourselves as far as our bodies are concerned? So can I get a yes? If anybody in the audience here, I know we've got Mike there as well, but even Mike, is there anybody there that sort of feels like they're tough on their body? I think it's fair in saying that we are bombarded. However, I think that it's really critical that we are very mindful of the language we use both here and when we talk about ourselves. And I know I'm being playful with this. However, at the same time, I'm a firm believer everything carries energy. So then if you wouldn't say that to me, or you wouldn't have to say that to someone that you love, then why are we saying it to ourselves, right? There's Jill. Yeah, so she gets it too. So, I think that there's that part of us where we're so critical of ourselves. And Lisa alluded to that earlier, and it's so true, is that we compare ourselves to other people, right? And so, I think that don't get me wrong. I love the awareness, and I refer to the 3 A's, which I think is really important. The awareness, we need to have awareness of where we are. And then the next thing is I have to have acceptance. Okay, so I put that stuff into my mouth, and so that was part of what I needed to do. And now the 3rd A is action. So one of the things I want to say is this to anybody watching, and you included, Jen, is that weight is about protection. Anytime that any of us gain weight, our body is there to serve us. So all it's simply doing is saying, I need to insulate you for what's going on externally. So one of my clients, I think I've told you that before, has said to me, Cate, I think we should call this COVID-15 because we've all gained 15 pounds.
No, it should be COVID-19. I mean, that's appropriate.
And so what I think, though, is that, we've got so many people that are there. I think that people have used comfort food, as a way of coping with all of this. So number one is let's cut ourselves slack. The only reason, Jen, I became a Pilates instructor was so I'd show up. Sorry, I hope any of my members are here. But it's so I'd show up to the gym. You know what I'm saying? So to me, and Pilates was I've been teaching fitness. These are here. These are earned before my son was alive. So 30 years, he's 26. And so what I found, it was Pilates that I actually came home to my body. And I didn't want to try to be, don't get me wrong. And there could be some athletes on here. I'm not in any way dissing you. Good for you for the marathons and everything else. I'll have the drink for you at the end. But for me, it's a matter of, I think it's really about saying, I need to accept and love the body I have right now, not when. So that's the dilemma. We look at ourselves in the mirror. So this is some homework already. I'm going to jump in because I'm going to fast track because I'm being mindful of the time. So tell me on a scale out of 1 out of 10, 10 being high, 1 being low, where would you rate yourself as far as loving your body right now? 10 being high, 1 being low.
Oh, it'd be pretty low right about now. Yeah.
What number would you give me?
I'll give you a 4.
4. Okay. What number would you like it to be?
A 10, of course.
Okay. So let's take a number, because it's kind of like, for me, 4 to a 10, that's a pretty big leap. And fair enough. I appreciate that you want that. You're Virgo, so you want it to be perfect. So anyway, so what I want you to do is give me a number that feels realistic to shift it just a little bit.
Get 6, like above 5 would be good.
I like it. Okay, so 5.5 or 6. Beautiful. So tell me then a time when you felt good in your body, when you felt like, yeah, I feel good in my body. I feel good in my clothing. I feel confident. Tell me a time. What were you doing at that time?
So when I was still working in corporate, and could wear the suits and could wear them well.
Okay. So tell me what was different then to now.
There's been a whole whack of things, but it's really just been, and I've been okay with over the last 10 years, there's been some expansion, but it's really what's happened in this last year that is what's upsetting me. I was okay with everything else. It was just, you know, everyone was talking about this COVID-19 and gaining the weight. And I don't think I had an excuse because I've been working from home for 10 years and everyone else was finding something new in it. But I realized that I was, like when you said protecting yourself, that's an interesting visual. And so I know I would partake in quite a few of the Zoom cocktail hours that would happen at different times. And so I know that was part of it. Something that I hear you in my head about self-care. And that's something that I've certainly taken from you, Cate. And when you say it, I get it. When I say it, I feel like I'm not saying self-care, but selfish. And so I recognize that I don't take that time. And so I just have to share this with you, Cate. So yesterday, you know, I had my day planned and I was going to go for a walk because that's my favorite form of exercise, but I don't see it as a chore. It's something I get to do. And I live by the water. And so I have a beautiful walk. So it's something I get to do. But that means it feels more like a luxury or a reward, you know, not something that has to happen. And so I planned my day for a walk and then the day spiraled. And so I knew that if I was going to take my walk, I wouldn't get back in time to watch your interview with Mark yesterday. And I wanted to see it. And then I gave my head a shake and I said, if anybody would want me to take this walk, it would be Cate. And so I put in the headphones and I took you with me. And so I was able to stand in the sun on the beach, watching the waves come in while listening to you. I was really doing that. Yeah.
I thought you meant it was on your green screen yesterday. Oh, you were literally there.
Oh yeah, it was fabulous. And then, you know, I continued to walk, you know, a little bit more. And then you took me all the way home. And so I literally had your voice in my head as well. And that felt good and felt right in terms of making the connection with the self-care. And I think that's always been a thing for me. So I will put things off if they're just for me. So it's the care, it's the, you know, the whatever it is in terms of eating right, exercise, you know, the getting the sleep, if there's other stuff to do. And so I think that's the lesson that I've certainly taken from you, Cate, and right in there.
Oh, thank you. Well, now I love the visual Lisa gave. So now when that part of you interprets or misinterprets the self-care to be selfish, I'd like you to be able to see that big stop sign, because I think that's brilliant, right? The big stop sign, you go, whoa, 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 no, 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 no. And even if you need to have my voice chime in and go, no, no, self-care, that's self-love, that's not selfish. And can anybody just keep putting comments in here, folks? People can relate to that, about the idea of taking self-care, that sometimes it really is hard, you feel guilty, it's a big deal. So Jen, I'm wondering then, when you talked about walking, you lit up, and I want to ask people that are in the chat to pay attention. Did you see that? Like, you lit up like a Christmas tree. You were excited about that when you were sharing that. So again, no different than Dr. Wayne Dyer's comment. When I change the way I look at things, the things I look at change. So if you could make a shift right now, what would that be? In the way that you look at self-care, what language would work for you that you would then internalize it in a positive way? Because it sounds like that could be a hiccup.
Yeah, I'm reading Jessica's note about self-love too. Yeah, I think it is. I don't even know what language to use, but it is recognizing that it's important and to take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. You know, I understand that. You know, you put the oxygen mask on yourself first. And what I get concerned about is I'm also a fair weather walker, which means I'm a weather wimp. As soon as it gets cold and it's raining and there's snow, like, I'm not going to want to go out. And so as much as I get so much joy from walking, I feel like my days are numbered on that. And so I have to find that joy in something else, and see it in a positive way.
Love it. So what could then be the plan B then for that? Because I think you're onto something. So you love walking. So for me, for example, I don't know if you have stairs in your house. So if it's a rainy day or something, for example, like my husband and I nudged him out this morning and we did the umbrella thing. He says, really? We're going to go? I said, yes, we got to go. And so, for me, sometimes I go up and down the stairs. Sometimes I'll watch a YouTube. Something on YouTube, so I know that literally, believe it or not, I've heard people say that you can actually go on YouTube and you can watch people while they're walking and that they're doing a walking program with you, right? So what I'm curious about is, would you be willing within the next 24 hours to investigate something or consider something? And I welcome people putting into the chat some things that ideas they could have for Jen, and maybe some things, and then like a buffet, Jen, you could take what you want and leave what you don't. But I think that what I'm a firm believer is, when something is working really well, we have to remember it's transferable, right? So when you're saying you're a 4 and you want to be a 6, I'm convinced if I go back to this, what would I choose if I really loved myself in this moment? What would you choose? You're going to be a 6. What would you choose? It's raining out there. It's snowing. What the heck?
Yeah. So to Suzanne's point, either find joy in the weather and walk in the weather, or, I've got like a ton of tapes, all ordered at 3 a.m. that I could, see if I can get some joy where it feels like I get to do it, as opposed to I have to do it. And because as soon as I have to do something.
So I love that your language that you're using is, it was a luxury to go to the water. It was a luxury. So I would like you to write, when you get off the call, a luxury list. What would be the things that would be a luxury list for you of activities that would allow you to engage in something while you're moving your body? Because I think it's important. A lot of us focus in on what we don't want, and then we forget about what we do want. Like, for example, to go to a cycle class, I'd rather put a fork in my eye. I got a friend of mine, she's 71, and she's in primo shape. She could be an instructor. There's no way. Are you kidding me? I want to barf. But you put me on a bike outside, I'm all over it. You put me on a treadmill inside, I love it. The pounding on my knees, running outside, where Lisa says she does that, my back won't allow it. So I think the key is to find what works for us, whether it's inside of a pool, at a gym or a facility, whatever that is, but finding that sweet spot of something. Now, you brought something up which is really important, and that is our sleep, Jen. What we don't realize is that, again, I think we would all agree that we're definitely in a sleep crisis right now, and we need to be mindful of our sleep hygiene. And so what do I mean by that? We need to make sure that those routines are consistent, that we're not going to bed at 3 a.m., young lady, because what's happening is it's throwing off our clock. Now, I'm not suggesting, I know that you're a bat, that's built in. I get that. There's lots of probably people right here. My sister-in-law, Rose, if she's still here, she's a bat. She's a Virgo too. She's also, and she wakes up at 11 o'clock at night, I'm pretty sure, in the sense of her alertness. So I'm not trying to play with your clock, but what I am saying is making sure, like, what is your, like, where do you really feel good after how many hours of sleep?
So my favorite is not having to set an alarm. So anytime I can do that is fabulous.
Beautiful.
But I sleep better in the mornings. And as you know, committing for the last several months to getting up early to write, missing out on that, but I get to write. So it's a positive that way, but not necessarily the best sleep.
Okay. So what my invitation to you then is, try to build in then, like, I think sometimes we do need to give ourselves a bedtime. I really believe that. And again, you're a nighthawk, you're that bat, that's fine, but give the cutoff point. I talk about in the book about the importance of no technology in the bedroom, which I'm sure, Jen, you don't. And so, all of that interrupts us. So why is there a connection with that, with weight gain? Well, we know through science that there is a connection, because the body is in overdrive. It needs to replenish itself. And so when we get that rest at whatever time, and we preferably all together, then what happens is that we have the more energy and we have more of a drive to then go do the exercise. See the connection? Yeah. So I think that, again, if I were to keep doing the layers of the onion, it still goes back to the self-care and believing that you're worthy enough to make yourself a priority. I know it. You need to know it. And I think that that's a common one for a lot of women. And I think that it's one that we need to keep working on, to keep saying, you know, what would I choose in this moment if I love myself? I think we need to make it bite-sizable, you know, like chunkable, and say, okay, so what would I choose right now? Well, you know what? I need a nap. Okay. So I'm going to give myself a nap, or I'm going to go by the lake, or I'm going to, what am I going to do? So I'm going to leave you with this, something just to think about. What if every single day you made a commitment that you were going to move your body for 20 minutes? Is that reasonable? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not, we could even look at maybe even say 3 out of 7 days. Like I usually tell people, try 3 and then get the success momentum going and go from there. So my point is this, that all of us it's a habit not exercising, it's a habit exercising. You know, when I went to the gym last night, did I skip to the gym? Absolutely not. It felt like a root canal. But when I left, when in my mind's eye, I go, fast forward, how are you going to feel? Oh yeah, my body's going to be so relaxed. So I know how good I feel. So I'm going to get you to be thinking about fast forward. I've just done the walk along the water. Oh, I feel so connected and I feel so at peace. This is exactly what I'm going to do. So is that something you'd entertain?
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. You have been such a treat to work with. Thank you so much for being a volunteer.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you
so much. I appreciate you. Take care. I want to just wrap up with everybody. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all of you. And thank you for your comments and your feedback. I just want to remind people that today is the last day. If you decided you wanted to get a signed copy of my printed book, it's $19.99 until midnight tonight. Then it jumps up to $23.95. My ebook is currently $4.99, jumps up to $9.99 as of midnight tonight. So would love you to participate. I want to give a huge thank you again to all the businesses and the individuals that have been so kind. Rose Collins, she donated 6 books. I've got Cheryl Cameron, 5 books. I've got Jen Spear, which was wonderful, and she donated 5 books. I've got, oh my gosh, list goes on. Sarah, we've got a whole bunch of them going through yet again. So I want to be mindful of the time. I just want to, give a huge shout out to them. And thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I know, Anders, you were going to do the draw because we had the ebook happening. Oh, we got to get rid of the thing here. Can't hear you, Anders.
Now you can hear me?
There we go.
Sorry about that. I had a book in your face there.
I want to do a drum roll here.
I'm juggling here too because of all this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on over. We're going to go. We've got your screen here. Let's do this way. Sorry about that. And we got random number here. So we were going to go. How many? Was this comments or how many people attended? I can't remember what we.
There were comments. There were comments that were made. So on Monday, are you referring to Monday right now? Sorry, I can't see it on my glasses on. Or is this?
Sorry. You want me to just show the winners?
Yes, that's what I was going to do, which would be lovely.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so these are the comments. Yes, these are the comments or people that had commented throughout the week.
Yes. So the ebook winners.
Yes, please.
Yes. So we got them right here. There we go. So the ebook draw winners are Jennifer Howarth, Jen Spear, Christy Scarrow, and Lisa Schmidt.
So thank you so much, very much, everybody. You were awesome. We did use a little bit of a system as he was sharing there, but we wanted, for time's sake, just to kind of wrap it up. So thank you so much. I want to thank all of you. You have been fantastic. And Anders, thank you as well. That was so much fun juggling together. I had so much fun. That was a really good time. So thank you, everybody. And remember, I want to leave you with this. Remember that you are a powerhouse. Don't let anybody get in your head. Don't let anything, try to pull you down, because there's going to be people they're just not walking in their own light. Not yet. So just make sure that you walk in yours, because that powerhouse is in you. That wisdom is in you. Make sure you surround yourself with powerhouse people. And I've done that I'm seeing all these wonderful people that are here, and oh my gosh, just this is fantastic. And I'm so grateful for all of you. And thank you for my own family, my physical family, Mike and Rose, thank you so much. And also my family, as in my mastermind CAPS family, as well as my writing group family. I'm just beyond grateful. Thank you so much for coming. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry because it's been such a powerful week. And I can't believe 150 books are going to be donated to the women's shelters locally. So just, I want to thank you so very much. And so have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening and a great weekend. And thank you, everybody. Bye for now.